Welcome back, you lovely people. Hope everybody is doing amazing. Thank you to those that attended the Ask Me Anything last night, another fantastic session. And if you did attend, or if you've been enjoying these videos, please hit the like button. I've been told off for not asking that, and it really, really helps with these videos and helps other people see them. So please do that. We'll get a feel for the market again after being off for the weekend and last night's AMA. So let's start zoomed out, longer term time frame, and coming back to the halving tracker. It's very interesting that the blue line is obviously this cycle, the green line the last cycle. As we broke below the green line, I put out some polls on Instagram asking if the model was broken. 50% of people thought the model was broken. Now, people were not saying it was broken as we were ahead of the last cycle, and now we've dipped under the last cycle, then people were saying it was broken. But of course, over the past week, we have this big upward spike from the bottom, and we're now very, very close to the last cycle when measured from the halving. And what I was saying whilst we were consolidating down here, if you remember, is the longer the base, the faster the race. I put out a video about volatility. And volatility is really important because this cycle is showing to be more volatile from the last cycle. So we went up to the upside quicker. We've had a steeper mid-cycle shakeout, and now we're consolidating. When something that is very volatile consolidates, it means that we are due a big move. We did plan for that move to be down to 20,000, didn't take place, and we're now moving to the upside. But what this can mean, and what I expect this to mean, is that we are going to catch up and then take over the last cycle. I'm also looking at the specific days past the halving. If you see when we bottomed here a couple of weeks ago, this is almost exactly in line with this, the bottom of this correction here. And we are seeing a lot of symmetry with the last cycle. We had our peak here, we had our peak here and our bottom here, and we touched here and we had an upward move here. So we're looking very much like the last cycle, of course, with some nuances. Of course, we went up quicker and then we've come down quicker. But does that mean we're going to come up quicker and peak approximately the same time? This is about mid-October. So we'll be following this closely again. And just another representation, simpler representation, is plan B. This is based on stock to flow model. It's the same data. You have the stock to flow target in dark green at 288,000. That's the stock to flow X, and the stock to flow at 100,000. And we are starting to move upwards. So it looks, again, very much like the last cycle. We're about to move into this phase, the parabolic blow off top phase. It's what we've been preparing for. And it's something that we're, of course, going to be working through together, because it's going to be very, very challenging. I'm sure that you saw and felt everybody melting down during the shakeout. It is going to be just as tough, if not more tough, as we head into this phase where we're going to get up days and down days of 20% here, there, and everywhere. And I said on the AMA yesterday, with the volatility that we're seeing, with this environment that we're in, with the regulators and the powers that be attacking Bitcoin, then it would not surprise me if we saw, for example, a 50% down day in the middle of this phase. Like you can see here in 2017, this was a couple of days, I think we went down 30 to 40%. I could easily see that and then some in this cycle. And are you going to be in a position to be able to manage that mentally? And of course, manage your position. Let's zoom in and have a look at the price action. We'll come down to the daily view. The first thing you might notice is that I have turned my chart white from the dark background, and I'm looking for ways to make my work more presentable. Sometimes I can be a little bit messy, and I think that we're heading in the right direction. I'm going to try to keep things really tidy. It's going to be very, very important to do that over the next couple of months because things are going to get crazy. So we need to continue finding our edges. If I can do a better job at representing my work, then that will give us another edge, which is going to be really important. So we had our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up days in a row off the bottom of about 28,000 into the most important trend line in crypto, which we've had drawn in for a long time. We said it was going to be critical. It was critical because we've been rejected and we're now on our 4th down day. We were ready for that as well. What levels are we looking at? I have them drawn in. I have my green arrows. So approximately 36,500. That would be into this support here. And yeah, this support here is the one I'm looking at. Or we could come into 33,500. And could we come all the way down to 30 to 28,000? Of course we could. Everything is possible. But I'm looking at these two levels as the most likely. If I was going to guess, I do think that this level holds based on what we've seen in the past 2 cycles, but based on the volatility that we know is there and is coming, then it would not be a surprise to see us spike down lower. Once we find whatever level we're going to, then we are going to come in and test the most important trend line in crypto again. And is this the time that we're going to break through? Let's see. We'll also have the $42,000 level. So could we do something like that? Very, very possible. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. This is very, very interesting. Since the end of alt season, which we called on this channel, that was in the middle of May, and Bitcoin has been outperforming. We have this upward sloping triangle, and we're coming to the end of the triangle. Looked like we were breaking out to the downside, to the upside, which means Bitcoin continuing to outperform altcoins over the past 3 days. Then we've made a recovery and we're coming back into this upward sloping trend line. All looks fine. We're still expecting a bounce off of here or somewhere close, and for Bitcoin to continue outperforming altcoins. This would be incredibly symmetrical with 2017. We had the end of alt season here. We had this consolidation and Bitcoin starting to outperform, and then a move to the upside where Bitcoin significantly outperformed altcoins. So we're looking for that to continue, and we're looking for this moment here. Last time, this was at the beginning of December, about a week to 2 weeks before the Bitcoin peak. And what happened at this moment is that altcoins took off and massively outperformed Bitcoin. We will be looking for that trigger because this is alt season 3. We had alt season 1 last summer, alt season 2, January to May of this year, and alt season 3 we are expecting for approximately the last month of the cycle. It will happen much quicker. So the move up, Bitcoin outperforming altcoins, we're looking for that moment approximately 1 month before the Bitcoin cycle peak, 2 weeks to 1 month before the cycle peak, where Bitcoin continues to run hot into the parabolic blow off top, but altcoins absolutely explode and go on a tear up to their new highs, outperforming Bitcoin. Everything reaches the peak, and then we have our big correction to begin the bear market. And another indicator for that dynamic that we're looking for is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And let's have a look at 2017 to start with. So in 2017, Ethereum Bitcoin put in a high here. This was at the mid-cycle shakeout. And then Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum. We put in a nice triangle here, similar to what we're seeing today. And then we broke to the downside whilst Bitcoin made the run up to the peak. And again, about a week before the Bitcoin cycle peak, then Ethereum took off and outperformed Bitcoin. We're expecting to see that sort of action again. Are we seeing it? Well, we had our peak just before the mid-cycle shakeout. Since then, Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. Again, we are in a triangle. It looks very, very similar to 2017. And what we're expecting is to see that breakdown to the downside. Whether we come into here, come into one of these levels, we'll be following it closely. And then for a week before the Bitcoin cycle peak, for Ethereum to significantly outperform Bitcoin and put in a big move to the upside. Now, lots of people are following this, and lots of people were getting very excited yesterday, where it looks like Ethereum was breaking out to the upside. I think a lot of this is due to the hype around the improvement protocol, EIP 1559. It's going to be lowering transaction fees on the Ethereum network and starting to burn tokens, so making Ethereum deflationary, happening in tomorrow, I believe. So that's certainly given Ethereum some impetus, and that might be why we haven't broken down yet. But you can see we're still just coming into resistance. We haven't had a breakout. We may even come up to this sort of level just given the timing of the news. In 2017, we didn't have this perfect timing where we expected a breakdown, but Ethereum was doing a major upgrade. So it wouldn't surprise me if we came into here as a outlier. But unless we make a new higher high, which would be something like 0.083, taking out this level, then nothing has really changed. What we're expecting is Bitcoin to outperform. So this to break to the downside, and then we'll be looking for this opportunity. This will be alt season 3. Whether we're looking at Ethereum or other altcoins remains to be seen. We'll be covering that on this channel. But really, all eyes still on, regardless of what's happening in the Ethereum network, all eyes are on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the rising tide that lifts all boats, and most importantly, just before beginning our parabolic blow off top phase, the market is watching about whether we're going to have a breakdown and bounce, or whether we're going to head through the most important trend line in crypto straight away. As soon as Bitcoin makes that decision, whether it's to the downside or the upside, I expect Bitcoin to take over, start running very, very hot against altcoins. Yes, many altcoins will perform well as well, but do be prepared that for a lot of that capital to flow into Bitcoin as we start making that move up. Some altcoins may even go down during that time. We're looking for alt season to take place beginning about a month before the Bitcoin cycle peak. So thank you for supporting. Please share this channel. Again, please like the video, and I will talk to you soon.